Hi there, I'm Ashley Phillips and I'm a clinical counselor here in Kelowna, British Columbia. I'm an EMDR therapist and I am a consultant in training. And today I'm going to talk to you about something I see so often in my practice is everyone feels responsible for other people's emotions. What I notice with a lot of individuals is that they have this really formed sense of that their sole job is to take care of everybody else. So this means that their self-care is consistently over here on the side. And this can look really differently for each individual. It can go from the extremes of not eating enough food, water, our house is a disaster and a mess, getting outside for a walk is very, very difficult, kind of anything around any basic self-care, around the bare minimum of what we need to do can be very difficult, all the way up to individuals where some things are okay to do, like it's okay to go work out, but it's definitely not okay to take a rest. And I'm talking about a subject area that they've totally splooshed it. How this starts to all connect around our basic self-care is that if we were to go do something, let's say I'm going to go for a run right now, and then someone messages and says, hey, I need your help. Can you come over and take care of the kids? And you automatically drop what you're about to do and you go do this thing. Even though you don't really want to do this, you're not even maybe even good friends with this human being. And it's an automatic drop because you're like, oh, my job is to take care of them. My job is to support them. My needs don't matter. And that may be happening on a very unconscious level, as it often does, but it's there. So part of helping to manage people's emotions and taking care of their feelings is, I don't want to upset them by saying no. So I would much rather just drop what I'm doing, don't go do that thing, and I'm going to go deal with this, take care of their kids because I actually don't want to upset them. And that is where we're actually taking care of somebody's feelings and emotions, and we don't want to cause harm. Just love that. You don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want them to be sad or upset. So you just drop what you're doing to go take care of that instead. What is typically happening here is that we're so uncomfortable with their possible response of being sad or upset or angry that we're avoiding those internal feelings. So rather than feeling it, we're like, yep, no problem. Let's drop it. Let's do this thing and I'll go do this instead, because we're so avoidant around feeling those feelings. Now, here's a question you might be asking. Well, how does this even start? Well, we're going to go back to early childhood, as one typically does in the counseling world. We're going to go back to, well, what were your early experiences around taking care of others? What were your early experiences around what your needs being met were? Did you have caregivers that were taking care of your physical being? Were your needs tended to? All of those early childhood experiences are telling us and giving us really good information about why we act and behave the way that we do today. There's going to be a reason why we just drop what we're doing so we can go take care of someone's feelings. There's always going to be a reason behind it. There is something internally going on that is telling us it's not okay to make someone upset and sad. So where do we first learn this? When we're looking at little beings, what can happen is that if we have, let's say, a parent that is really overwhelmed, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and they're unable to attune to the needs of the child is going to start to drop what their needs are in order to maintain an attachment to the caregiver. This is done on a very unconscious level. It is something that a child is going to do in order to maintain having a connection and therefore an attachment to the caregiver. So they may learn that my needs don't matter, I'm not important, my job is to take care of that person's feelings and emotions. And so they really grow up with this very strong belief system that that's actually their job, when in actuality, it comes from that early childhood experiences of the modeling behavior of their needs not being met. Over time, we then have these little beings that grow up to become adults, and it really becomes this hardwired belief system that my job is to take care of their feelings and emotions, and my job is not to make them angry or sad or upset. And it really is this tunnel vision when we hear someone saying, but why are you doing that? That's ridiculous that you would drop all these things to go take care of their feelings. And you're like, I know, but I just don't feel as though I can, right? Or they have a very, very strong belief system that, like, of course it is their job to take care of people's feelings and emotions. Like, that is just what they do. And it can feel like this like brick wall of believing that that's actually not my job. And that's because it's been going on for so long that this starts becoming the pattern. Using EMDR, we're going to do a lot of information sharing and a lot of psychoeducation, helping people to understand how this all gets formed. And we're going to look at, well, what's going on to today? Like, I really want to understand like the patterns and behaviors that are happening today so we can understand how we can kind of best help and support you. The biggest thing to know is that this is never about vilifying anyone. It's never about blaming our parents. It's about understanding why we act and behave the way that we do. Some of the examples that I see in my office, how this shows up as an adult is that we are really kind of caretaking everybody else. So we drop our needs. So if my need is I'm going to have a Friday night at home and I'm going to take a bath instead, and a friend reaches out saying, let's go out, I want to go have some fun, and you're like, but I really want to stay at home and rest, and the friend is like, oh, come on, you're like, okay, and you go out. That's one way of not honoring your needs, but taking care of their feelings because you don't want them to be upset that you're not going out with them. Another piece is that you have a very difficult time setting boundaries, that we're really afraid of the individual's responses, or that we're just like, well, my needs don't matter. My job is to take care of them. My job is to do this for them. I don't want to disappoint them. I want them to be happy. Those are all the pieces. So it's a great reflection piece for each individual as to being like, I wonder why I'm having a hard time setting boundaries. Like, what's going on inside of me that it's really hard for me to say no? It's a wonderful curiosity. Another piece that it shows up is that if someone's upset with you, it is internally devastating. And sometimes it's one of those pieces around that the reaction that you're having or the reaction that the person is having is much bigger than it should be. Apologies. This is a big one. We're apologizing all the time. We're apologizing that we're taking up space. We're apologizing that I have needs. I'm apologizing that I want to go do something. That's another piece that we're apologizing to the other individual. Another way that it shows up is that we completely downplay our needs. It's like they don't exist. They're not around. I don't have any. It's another way that it shows up. One thing that I really like to tell my clients a lot is that, let's say they go out and they're like, okay, I'm going to say no to my friend who wanted to go out on that Friday night. And let's say that you're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say no. And you do. And you're so proud of yourself for saying no. And your friend is really upset with you. Usually the reaction inside is, oh my God, I was wrong. Like, it's not okay to say no. If they were supportive, like if it was okay, they would be totally fine with it, but they're really upset. So therefore, this is wrong and I need to go out. That's not true at all. Part of honoring our needs is that the other person actually might be upset, and that does not mean that your needs are wrong. It doesn't mean that at all. This is the part of that we actually need to stand in the truth of that I have a right to have needs. Someone may be upset, and that does not mean that my needs are wrong, and that we can still go ahead and do this thing, let's say not go out on Friday night, even though that my friend is upset with. Now, I understand it's much easier said than done. And this is a therapy that I do, is helping people to dissolve the traumas that are associated to all this, and then work on the triggers that are going on to today so it's not as activating, alongside building the skills and modeling how do I say no in a healthy way. One thing that's really important to know is that a lot of these responses have been going on for a very, very, very long time. Oftentimes with some people that I work with, they're like, Ashley, like, I know I should just say no, but I can't. And that's just part of a very long history of these types of things happening. And we're also maybe not getting modeling, or our early childhood experiences are really impacting us. This is where EMDR therapy is going to come in. Using EMDR, we might be doing a combination of doing some ego state work, IFS work, to really help the internal parts of self more comfortable with the idea of setting boundaries. And then we'll reprocess those early childhood memories around my needs not getting met, or having to tend to other people's feelings and emotions. Like, we're going to find the targets that are associated to the reason why we're struggling today with taking care of other people's feelings. when we're reprocessing those earlier memories, what we're asking our brain to do is to allow the trauma to dissolve, allow the adaptive information that we know to be true to pop in. So this can look like, oh, like my needs do matter. Like it's okay to say no. I am not responsible for other people's feelings and emotions. Those parts of information can start getting uploaded in the brain so that we are able to move through this world in a way that it feels much more comfortable and possible to set boundaries and also to not feel responsible for other people's emotions and feelings. The biggest thing is that we do have to tend to those early childhood memories that are associated to this so that more of the adult perspective can be in charge. Healing just isn't cognitive. It's also somatic. It is emotional. It is everything all together. This is what makes EMDR so incredibly powerful, is that it's blending all of this together and dissolving these traumas so they do not impact you on your day-to-day life. I always find it so amazing after I work with clients of just how surprised they are about how something no longer bothers them. Like it's genuinely so fun and amazing when clients are coming in and they're like, I was able to say no and it wasn't that big of a deal. It's kind of funny and kind of strange. Like I could actually say no to my friend and it's actually okay because deep down inside, I knew that she'd be totally okay with it. Fear response was no longer leading the charge. It was just what they knew about this person where they're like, of course they'd be fine with me not going out. They just wanted to hang out and they're like, yeah, I'll see you on another day. So I always find it just so incredibly powerful when I see this all happening. If you resonate with this, if you resonate with this feeling that you are responsible for everyone else's feelings and emotions, I want you to know that this is something that can be healed from. We're going to tend to those early childhood memories. We're going to talk a lot about psychoeducation, about learning about childhood attachment, so you can get the information that you need so that we can reprocess these memories that are keeping you stuck in acting and behaving the way that you want to. EMDR can be an incredibly powerful tool on this journey. If you're curious about exploring it, I'd love to connect with you. If you live in Canada, feel free to reach out.